Hey traders, John Howell here. Today we're going to be looking at, I'll be focusing on all the markets actually. Stock market right now on a smaller time frame is building a bit of a bear flag. So we could be seeing a bit of a drop. Right now you can see also silver is also broken through the support level, as you can see on the screen right now, and what that actually means. I've been talking about that for the last few weeks. So this drop shouldn't become a surprise to you guys about what's happening there. Also, I want to cover the transportation average because we may be getting ready for something really exciting with the transports. And you know what? I'm going to look at some stocks as well too. I want to share something with you with Amazon. And I'm just going to cover a whole wide range of different topics in this video just to really help you out. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. Over my last 17 years of trading the markets right now, I've learned some really amazing things that helped me break through. When I first started trading, I was $250,000 in debt. And I had no idea what I was doing. But there are some certain strategies, some certain way of understanding about the markets, thinking, chart reading strategies, trading systems and stuff like that that really helped me have the breakthrough. So I've created a trading course called the Breakthrough Trading Course. And I'm doing a bit of a flash sale right now just for $7 only. So link in the description. I think there's a 1 or 2 days left. One that just depends on when you see this timer left. But very first thing in the description, guys, go get that. And you're going to absolutely love it. If you need the breakthrough in your trading, just like I did back 17 years ago, then that's obviously for you. Actually, not 17 years ago. 17 years ago is when I first started trading. It's about 13, 14 years ago when I really just I couldn't break through. Anyway, so that's what really helped me break through, and I guarantee it's going to help you as well, especially when you start learning about the mistakes you're learning. Let's actually get straight into the markets right now. So what's going on let's actually look at the silver chart first. Firstly, the silver chart is continuing to really have a strong breakthrough. And I've been talking about this for the last few weeks, as you know, ever since the market broke down. And I was talking about this for the last few weeks that I wouldn't want to be fighting the trend on silver because and even the mining stocks, right? It's like, as soon as I knew I had the mining stock call wrong, the end of the trend type of thing, I knew I had to be out fast. And then I knew that I had to be at a situation where I was looking to cut my losses short and let my wins run. And I'll speak about that in just a minute here. But you can see what's happening right now when it comes to the silver market, right? But look what's happening here overall. Let's actually look at this here. Now remember, the trend is your friend until the end, right? So we have a high, move down, rally up, lower high, move down. We had a lower high here as well too. Move down, lower high, move down. See this whole thing through here? That's just one big pullback in the markets. And then we had another lower high, and then we rallied down, rallied up, another lower high. See this period of sideways movement? And now we're getting a very, very strong breakout bar below the support level. So that tells me now, because this support level here has been strong for quite some time, as you can see, this whole $22 level has been really, really, really strong in the markets. So since we now have the markets actually break into the downside, and actually getting a very, 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 very big solid break to the downside, I wouldn't be too surprised to now see this breakout continuing to have a very nice move down. Now, the next major support level is, if I squeeze my charts up, the next major support level is down there at 19. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw a move now in silver down towards that 19 level, maybe even lower. So we have to really sort of watch that now because we're getting a significant lower high. And when we look at the weekly chart as well too, look what the weekly chart is doing. Just the weekly chart is in a very, very strong downward trend. We have a high, we have a lower high, and now we're breaking down past these low levels here that's been there. It's been knocking on it, knocking on it, knocking on it, and now it's broken. That tells me now we're likely to see a bit of a waterworks in the silver market. And again, guys, I've been talking about this for the last few weeks for the last week or so. Get ready for a pretty strong drop in silver, and the drop has already started when it comes to the silver price there. And you can see what's happening here on the hourly chart. Just a bit of a nothing going on the hourly chart. but expect a more downside to come when it comes to the silver, when it comes to this silver market here. Once again, you can see also, look at my moving averages. We've got a nice strong sort of 9 moving average trending down. We've got a strong also 20 pointing down. So we have nice lower highs. We have a nice sort of sideways movement and then a breakdown bar. So that tells me that we should now start to see more downside to come in the markets there. So that's what I'm seeing there with silver. So expect a bit of a drop coming in that there. A quick little update in gold, and gold has just been really a nothing burger. It really has been a nothing burger when it comes to these markets. Just even when I squeeze my charts up, it's just really nothing really too clear, no higher lows. Maybe the short term we're getting these lower highs here. So the short term we're getting a bit of a drop, but really nothing going on through here. Now, the one thing I was talking about before was the ability to cut your losses short but let your wins run, and to throw your ego out the window. And I talk a lot about this in yesterday's session as well. One of the big things that helps me every single day in the markets as a trader is I know that in any position I can be wrong, or should I say it can be a losing position. Understanding that one thing always keeps me alert on what is going on in the markets. Always keeps me alert. And so, for example, I actually called the bottom, and I was wrong. I actually called the bottom on the SIL. So I called the bottom here, and I actually got into a trade here. I got into a trade this day right here, right? So here's the differences between, even if you do get into a trade, the thing is that we're looking for, I got into a bottom here and then the market rallied up. But as soon as I knew that we were just continuing this downward trend and we started doing this, guess what? I was out real fast. Now to give you some numbers, this trade here was around a $2,000 loss for me. That's a real small loss, right? If I did hold, hope, and pray, I'd be down now about $60,000, right? Now that's a big loss for me, right? 60 grand. And so as you can see, I had a real small loss, which is $2,000, which I make that back easily on the next trade. But the thing is, if you could see from a number perspective that me not having an ego about my trading and listening to the market, say, you know what, the market's continuing down here and I'm not going to sit here and hope and pray. I need to listen to the markets and be listening in a way of not letting my ego get involved. So that's basically a very big important key to your success in the markets, is knowing that at any moment that position can be wrong, and it's not about being ego, and especially us guys, right? We don't want to admit that we actually have a loss. One of the most important things to you as a trader is two most important things to you as a trader. It's going to be, one, the trades you don't take, and secondly, the how you manage those trades. It's going to determine a major determining factor of how well you do. And it's not the trading system. You can have a good trading system, but you take shit trades that you shouldn't, that sort of look like the trade you're talking. And secondly, you're not very quick to get out when you have these things just not working out well for you. That, if you can do that, because the good trades, right? And you know for yourself, the good trades, within a day or so, they're moving for you, they're running on. But just like here, within a week later, it was failing. I knew that I needed to be out of it. I need to be out. I can always re-enter later on, but I just need to be out to protect my account. So what was a few $1,000 loss for me, which again is a real small loss, would have been a $60,000 loss for me. And then now, I would have been hoping and praying and hoping and praying and hoping and praying. I don't hope and pray. If I get into a position and I know that there is doubt within that trade, and I know I shouldn't be in this anymore, and I start to say the words hope, I hope this works out, or I'm coming up with some sort of reason or story of why I'm staying in, then I know I need to be out of that trade ASAP. And one of the big things for me as a trader, what I like to use is just a simple moving average, right? Because as you can see, one thing I did is, as you can see from this perspective right here, you can see what actually happened, right? We had a support level right here, but then what ended up happening is that we actually see how this is sort of like a momentum sort of thing, right? So we had a move down, we got to move back up, and as soon as we started breaking below this moving average, I knew that that was the time for me to exit the markets there. And then we had a very, 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 very nice drop to the downside. So that's what it's very, 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 very big and crucial and important there when it comes to your trading, when it comes to that as well too. Now, let's get into, so that's based on silver and gold and all that down home country goodness. Let's go have a look at the stocky market and let's go look at what's going on right now when it comes to this stock market. The interesting thing that I'm seeing right now is, man, I need a haircut. We've been locked down for like 4 months here and I'm like, oh, I need a haircut. Anyway, I'll be shaving my head soon, don't worry. Get the clippers out. So one thing that we're looking at here is we're looking at the S&P 500. Vitamins, greens, all that sort of stuff. So we're looking at the S&P 500. The really interesting thing is where we're at right now is this. We've created a lower low. We're creating a lower high here. But look what's happening here on the hourly chart. We're developing like a bit of a sort of a bear flag sort of formation. So we should continue to see a bit more of a drop to the downside on the S&P 500. So that's actually the one big key there. And remember, in a downward trend, for the sellers to be fully in control, or should I say, yeah, for the sellers to fully be in control, we need a lower high and then breaking past previous lows. This is the point right here is when we actually get a lower high breaking past previous lows. That's when we start to really see the sellers in control. So if the sellers do knock it past this 4,300 level, then yes, we are getting ready for a strong movement on the downside. So if we do get that, that's going to be very, 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 very weak. Now, if I look at the Dow Jones, there's some really, really, really key important levels that I'm looking at here. And let's actually, what is that level there? What is that level for? Interesting. I've got two levels here that I'm just, actually, let's just take that off the screen. Let's take that off the screen. Right, and I know there is, let's go back to the daily chart here for a minute. I know that there was this line through here, and I can see that it actually also bounced off through, possibly through there, I would say. Just trying to get the proper, maybe it's probably, I'm just trying to get the right angle back again. I'm not sure why this trend line disappeared, but now I'm probably going to draw it through there, I would say. I'd say that'd be the line through there because that's where the bounce was. But you can see what's going on right now. Firstly, we can see the Dow Jones holding above this major, this major trend line is a major significant trend line coming back all the way back through here, right? So there's a major, major, major trend line. We're at a very, 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 very sticky situation right now. A very sort of interesting situation because we're going to see a bit of a confirmation whether we're going to start that blow-off move, which I do see happening, or we're going to start to see the startings of a more sharper correction in the markets. And so the scenario number 2 is what to look for a sharper correction. Remember what I said before? It's lower lows breaking past, lower highs breaking past previous lows in the market. So in this case example here, what I'm looking for is this. We have this low, we have this lower high here. Does it break past previous lows? So this low through here, which is around the 34,000, do we actually come down through and break past there? If we do that, and we start to see this pattern, then I have around about a 31 or so target on the Dow Jones. And it's going to be it's probably going to be a big flushing movement. It's going to be hard and fast, and it's going to freak the people out. It's going to this is going to just freak people out, and then the Fed's going to come in and buy it, and it's going to go back up, and then we're going to see a 40,000 Dow. So that's what's going to happen, right? We know that's what's going to happen. We're not there yet, but if we get that, all bets off, at least for the short term, and they're probably likely to see a very hard and fast and sharp drop. So this is going to be the warning sign. We break below there, based off trend analysis, based off the trend trended to the end, is this breaking of a 34,000 on the Dow, and then we are likely to see a very sharp, and this will be the pattern to look out for, to see a very big sharp and drop move. But also remember, that's based off the chart, lower lows and lower highs. But also look what's happening through here. That would also breaking of two significant trend lines. So we have a, let's go to tool. Some people, yeah. Some people say, John, you can't even find your tool, mate. Well, it's all right. Let me bring up a black here. Actually, no, let's go to, this one here, right? So you can see this line through there. Notice this line is also a major support level where we are right there. Plus also the line I just drew in there as well too, right? So we have here an X marks the spot. So if we do, I don't know yet, but if we do start to see the dropping of the below the 34,000 level, that's going to create a flushing effect. And this is going to flush the market like you flush the toilet. Well, hopefully you do. My son, he doesn't sometimes. He just walks away because he's just too busy focused on PlayStation. Flush the toilet, mate. My son, nah, just too busy focused on Fortnite. So we can see what's happening to it. So once again, if we do break below the 34,000, that's the trend confirming on the downside, but also breaking off key levels. This is a very, very, very significant area in the markets, and it could cause or it's probably likely to cause a flushing effect down towards that 31 level to 32 level pretty quickly. So that's where we're at right now. So it's going to be a very do or die situation when it comes to that on the Dow Jones. Now that's for the bearish side. If we start to get below the 34,000, back below these low levels here, get ready for the flushing effect. But if we don't, and the market holds here, and then for some reason, the market says, what? Flush? What are you talking about? Boom. And then we start to do something. Suddenly we start to do something like this, right? And then we start to create, let's actually just bring up a chart with no moving averages so we can make this very, very clear here. If we do hold here and we start to rally out, what's that going to cause? That's going to create what? A higher low. So it is okay, guys, to sit on the sidelines when you're not too sure about one particular market you're getting into. You don't always have to be in it all the time, and you don't always have to guess. Actually, don't guess. Oh, excuse me. Don't guess. Green drink burp. Good. And green drink burp. I don't know why that was. Crack myself up here. It's okay, guys. Actually, it's paramount. Paramount? Is that the right word? Am I using the right word, guys? Paramount? It is essential for you to not get in the market when there's a lot of indecisions on that particular market. You want to jump on when someone's clearly in control. Right now, sideways, up and down, there's no one really clearly in control here. We're not downtrending, we're not uptrending. So it's like, oh, what's going to happen here? So it's okay it's actually essential that you step back in those moments and you don't look to get involved with it because you just want to be in the markets. That is definitely going to cause a lot of really, 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 really situations where it's going to cause you to, always be in a choppy environment. When the market's indecisive, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be in that, right? You always want to wait for the market to tell you. So, for example, if I look at a stock like Amazon, if we have a look at a stock like Amazon, notice how indecisive Amazon's been, right? We had a little bit of a false breakout to the upside, and then we broke down. Look how indecisive. And trying to jump in the market, trying to get into a market when it's going sideways is very risky because there's no probability there, right? It's just going sideways. It's not wait for the market at least show you some leadway where it's likely to go, and then you can jump in on it, right? And I'll talk about Amazon in just a minute, but let me go back to the Dow Jones now. I'm going to make the case for the bull side. What to look for to say, okay, we're now likely to be starting that melt up. And if we do get scenario B, scenario A was what to look for to see a much more harder and faster correction in the markets. We saw that. What's scenario B to say, okay, what's the case for the market melting up and not getting that sharp correction? And that would be, if I look at the markets right now and I bring up my trend lines, I can see how we've had this, once again, major support level here. And we can see how the market has continued to rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, right? So we continue to make these significant low, higher low, and a significant higher low through here, right? So we made these significant higher lows. If the market does hold here and we start to break above this level here for now, and we start to break back up, and we start to get into the 36 number, we start to see a 36 print, a 36,000 print on the Dow Jones, all over for the bears. And if we do see that over the next, say, week or two, moving into October, we're going to see one incredible move to finish off the year. So the reason why this is important, because it can set you up either side. If you're looking to short the market, here's some things to keep an eye out for. If you're looking to jump in on a big bull market, here's some things to keep an eye out for. If you are long this market right now and you're looking to capture that blow off top because you believe the blow off top is in the making, which I do, but I could be wrong, then what we need to see is we need to see a breaking of, if we do start to break the lows, then don't be surprised about the flushing effect of another 5 or 10% move on the downside, because the market is telling us what's going on. We just need to listen. And a lot of people who are long these markets right now maybe don't want to listen to scenario A. And one of my mentors said, John, you could ignore reality, aka what the market is telling us what's likely to happen. You could ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And so the reality of that, so if the market's telling us something, the best thing to do, just like I talked about with the silver mining stocks, is that when you know when you're in a position and either A, you got it wrong, or B, the trade's just not working out the way you want to see it, just get out, protect your account. You can always re-enter back in, right? Throw your ego out the window, and these are the things we need to keep an eye out for. So we're in a very indecisive moment here, but over the next few weeks, we'll start to get a bit more confirmation of what's likely to happen, at least on that short-term movement through there. So that's what I was seeing through there. Let me actually just go back to Amazon here for a minute, because I was going to promise you guys what I'm looking at here to potentially see that we may now be getting ready to have a big move to the upside. And check this out. Amazon may be repeating itself once again. Let me explain here. Look back down the bottom here, right? Notice how we had a bit of a channel. So that was that major resistance through there. If I squeeze it up a little bit more, right, you can see how we had this overall sort of channel all through here as well, right? So notice how we had all this channel down the bottom here. And then look what happened. Firstly, we got what? We got a break to the upside, which was a false break out, and then it dropped back down. But then the second time it went for a run, guess what? Then we started to make a big move. Look what's happened here, right? We have what? We have the major resistance line. We have this major sort of support line through here. And the really interesting thing, right, is that if I actually bring up the two lines, so we have on this bottom one down the bottom here, we had this major sort of big channel. And then within the big channel, we had this smaller channel while this was actually filtering out, right? So we had the big support and resistance levels, and then it became smaller before the breakout. Look at this here. We have what? We have a big channel, and now we're just what? We're filtering down into a much smaller channel. See that there? See how it's not the exact same, but it looks very similar. So look where we are right now. If we look at Amazon, right? Amazon had the false breakout, and now we had the pullback, and then we went for the big move. Amazon had the false breakout, and then we went pullback, and now we're doing this here. So now we're having a pullback. I am looking to invest in Amazon, meaning it's not going to be a short-term trade. I'm not going to hold it for a few days. I'm probably going to hold it you know, depending on how long, right? But I'll be holding it as long as it keeps making a profit for me. But look what's happening here. We're having a pullback. So if the market does start to do this and we start to break back up like that, that's now going to be a low, a higher low, breaking past previous highs. After all this sideways movement, same for the market down here. Went sideways for a long time, then we started to build some momentum and went for a big move. Sideways for a long time, higher low. Now we're probably likely to start to make a breakout, or not yet, because we don't want to preempt. It could just pull back. So you never want to preempt. No one definitely knows. Wait for the market to give you a bit of a confirmation first. That's what I'm looking for, and then we're going to jump onto it and say, you know what? Donkey Kong's coming to town. That's when Donkey Kong is coming to town. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes I thought he was coming, but you know, he just no. I actually went to see Donkey Kong, but guess what? We had lockouts, or we had lockdowns, or what are they called? Are they called lockdowns? Lockdowns, lockouts, or whatever, right? It's interesting, right? You know what's happening with the whole government shutdown. Yeah. I think the whole COVID got to the government as well too, right? Yeah, there's the lockdown happening right now within the American market as well too. So, I think the government in America now is going through their own personal lockdown. So, so we can see what's happening through on that level through there, but we need to wait and see whether Donkey Kong is coming or whether it was just a bit of a fake out. He said it was coming, but just like most people, they say something, but they do the exact opposite. So we could see that through there. So we're looking for I'm looking for a higher low, then a breaking past. If we get that, we're probably likely to see a very nice move with Amazon coming. So that's what I was looking at through there. And the last thing I want to share with you, which is very, very interesting, is the transportation average. Get you some of this, right? Now let me actually blow this up. Let me actually blow the weekly chart up first. So let me show you what I'm looking at here. Look at this massive weekly chart on the transports. Are we about to see an explosion or a movement, a increase in transports? Because the market is telling us that we may be getting ready for that. Let me explain here. So the first thing we're looking out for is, the first thing we're looking out for is that we have a high. Notice how we actually have this major support and resistance level through here, right? And then what we see is we have a support level, support level, support level. So notice these major two trend lines I've got in place. So the first one was this bottom line here. Notice how just significant, even when we had the whole vid situation, we broke out, we rejected it here, and then we got back in, and then we rallied back to the upside. But look what's happening right now. This is fascinating, right? Fascinating. So then we saw this big movement to the upside, right? So we have this low, and then we have this low through here, low through here, low through here as well too, right? So, high. My brain was flipped upside down just then. So most of you guys are going, "Hey John, tell me something new." They're always flipped upside down. You'll be right, mate. So we have this resistance level here, resistance level here, resistance level. Now check this out. Look what I'm noticing here right now. This is the secret between you and I, okay? Please don't let this secret out, because it could be a really amazing opportunity to jump in before we see the next transportation boom. Right? Look at this here. Check this out. Coming back down, and look where we bounced right off. Let me zoom right in. We came down where? We came right back down to where? That major support level there, and we bounced off there. On this weekly chart, right? Had a nice overall pullback, and now we're bouncing off this support level here. Oh my goodness, guys, that is powerful. Now, let's go inside the weekly chart, okay? Let's go to the daily chart. Remember what I said before about the trend? The trend is your friend until the end, okay? And the end of the trend could be either a V bottom, or could actually change the markets, right? So we can have a lower high, lower high, lower high. We can then rally out, make a higher high, higher low, break and pass. This is the change of the trend, and then away we go. Makes sense? Or what we can is we can get a lower high, lower high, lower high. We could rally out, make a lower high, then we can make a higher low, and then break up. This is now breaking through. We now have a higher low, and then this is breaking past previous highs. So now we have what? We have an upward trend. So remember first, right? The big picture, on the transport says what? We're in this massive upward channel, and we've just had a massive 4, 5, 6 month pullback to this major support level, and now it's actually bouncing off this level. Then now that's the big weekly chart. So, but when we go now inside the weekly chart to the daily chart, and we now apply some simple trend analysis, we can see what's going on here. And check this baby out. Let's go to here. We can see we have what? We have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Look what happened here as well too, right? We came down, we flushed down below this major support level, and we got straight back above it. Possible end of trend move, but we need a bit more data, right? A little bit more data. We rallied up, we now made what? Another lower high here. So if we do, okay, I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but over the next few days, if we start to see this thing hold here, and we start to do something like this, and we rally out, and then we break to the upside, and we create a low. Remember, this low is at what? That's that major long-term weekly support level. And then we create what? We have a low, and then we create a higher low on this daily chart, and then we break out of this one, this downward trend, but two, breaking past previous highs. Oh my goodness, guys. If that happens, that tells us that we're about to see a boom in transports again. Transports are going to start to really open up again, and we're about to see a massive boom in there, and we're probably like going to make a race back up to all-time new highs. Not straight away, but obviously, you know, up and down, higher highs and higher lows. So that's what I'm noticing through there, guys. It's really, really, really interesting on a long-term movement through there. And once again, looking at that weekly chart, look where we are right now, just bouncing over it. So this guys right now is setting up to be a one big movement. And once again, the charts are telling us, if we do start to see that, that's telling us, I'm not saying we're definitely going to see that, okay? We need to wait for confirmation. That's what trading is about, right? We wait and wait and wait for our setups. We wait for really good, and then we wait for the market to tell us that, okay, someone's definitely in control here. We're trading with the overall trend, the weekly charts, and then we simply jump in on it. So this here could be very, 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 very powerful, and we could also see this thing make a move to the upside. I need to see the confirmation first of the turning around, and then we could probably see a very nice movement to the upside. So traders, I want you to put in IYT to the moon in the chat box below. That shows me that you are my 3%er. And also, it's going to confuse the hell out of everyone else, because most people don't finish. Most people don't even get to this point right now. So put in IYT to the moon in the chat box below. And also, once again, if you need the breakthrough in your trading and you're going through a hard time right now, I've created the breakthrough trading course to give you the breakthrough, to help you with understanding the mistakes you're probably making right now, the foundations to your success, the chart reading, trading systems mindset, stuff like that, all that sort of stuff to help you have the breakthrough, just $7. And also what I'm going to do is that everyone that registers and get access to the $7 is that I'm actually going to be giving them a free coaching call as well. So when you register for the $7, or actually get that, then I've automatically put into the system for a few hours later to email you a process where you can then book a coaching call with me, and I'm happy to talk to you and help you out as well too here. But that's obviously for today. So link in the description, guys. Go get the trading course, and then my system over a few hour period will then email you the details about getting access to that free coaching call. Go do that right now, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.